Okay, we are live. Welcome to the Marriage Boss podcast, and I'm totally pumped today because I've got a friend on who supposedly has some really exciting stuff to share with us. I was referred to her by our good friend Sonia, who you may also know as Social Sonia, and she's out there helping people like us get our name and our message out there. Laura Roman has enjoyed a 25-year career as a therapist with personality. Now she's bringing her substantial experience, vast knowledge, and positive, non-stuffy approach to the online world. She builds on a strong psychological model with more eclectic influences to get to the heart of the matter and make healing possible. Working from her intuition and soul, not just from the book, Laura has helped dozens of clients overcome self-worth struggles that the more conservative experts have not been able to make a dent in. She believes you always get another chance to feel empowered and healthy, just like the car keys in the morning. The key to your happiness is always there. One simply must dig deep enough to find it. Laura, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you so much, Rick. I appreciate you having me on.
Thank you. So we were having a little bit of fun before we went live and hit record. So you were telling me about something that's coming up, and I know that everybody wants to hear the background of the therapist and gone online and all this stuff, which we'll get to. But you have some news that you want to share with us. So why don't we jump right into that first? Because maybe that'll just take us right through the whole episode.
Okay. Well, starting this Sunday at 9 o'clock, I'm going to be doing a Facebook Live, and it's be called Sesh with Laura. And a sesh is going to be kind of a cheeky session because when you come to see me as your therapist, it's a session, right?
Yeah.
But this is going to be, we're going to be talking about life and love and sex. And it's going to be right out there. And we want people to be comfortable and cozy, and they can ask me any questions that they have. They can certainly private message me, or they can email me to let me know if they have any questions. But we're going to be talking about all different kinds of topics, and hopefully be able to get to some really some things that people may not want to ask their therapist face to face.
Wow. So that's pretty juicy stuff right there.
It'll be pretty juicy. I'm hoping it's going to be pretty juicy because I really want people to feel comfortable and to be able to ask anything that they want. And I think a lot of times in relationships, what I've seen in my practice is that people come in and see the therapist a lot. They should have come a lot sooner than they have.
Yeah.
And so very often, if we can get to some of those issues before it gets so bad that there really is no turning back. And that's really what I'd like to be able to do in these sessions on Sunday nights.
Now, when you do the Facebook Live, if somebody chimes in, are they going to be communicating with you right in the post, or are they going to PM you later, or how's that going to work?
However they want to do it, whatever they want to do, whatever they feel most comfortable with. I have found that people want to really keep their anonymity, which is fine. Like they don't really want people to know what they're thinking or what they're dealing with. So I think that private messaging, maybe this is my first time, right, doing this. So we'll see how it goes. But I think people can contact me in ways in which they feel the most comfortable.
Cool.
To contact
me. Wow, that's awesome. That sounds like such a great way to give a new type of access.
Right. Yeah. And it's after the weekend. And what I find is that after the weekend, we've spent all this time together, or maybe I'm dealing with something and I'm really focused on it over the weekend. Sundays and Mondays are usually the times we have the most to say, or we're thinking the most, or we're feeling the most after what's happened over the weekend. Right.
Wow. Yeah. Especially in those areas.
Right. Exactly.
Mm-hmm. That's so cool.
Yeah.
And what prompted you to go from, I know you and I talked a little bit about this, but share it with our audience. What prompted you to make this shift from the traditional practice to going more online? Obviously, a lot of the stuff you're doing with Sonia is all about social and online. So what prompted you to make this shift?
Well, I've been a therapist for a long time, 25 years, and I felt like I wanted to get my message out and I wanted to get it to more people, because as a psychotherapist in your own private practice, you have a very limited amount of people that you're really in contact with. And I felt that going online, I would be able to reach a larger audience and be able to get my message out. I have a lot of experience, and I wanted to be able to share that with people in a larger sense, with a larger audience than just my clients in my office.
Yeah, it's exciting. And obviously you'll be able to go global as opposed to local.
Precisely,
Cool.
precisely. And I also will be offering online sessions as well. So that people, if they want to, like, let's say they hear a session, they really like it, and they think, man, I'd really like to have her as my therapist, they will also be able to work with me online, which is something brand new. I've never done this before, but I feel really comfortable in doing it. I've done it with clients I already know, but this would be a way of doing it with people that I have not met up until the time that they're seeing me online.
Yeah, I love it. I love the fact that you're going to go global because then that gives so many more people access to you. It gives you access to such a different, diverse
Right,
patient and client base, whatever we want to call them, patients or clients.
right.
And it's going to be exciting to see where this leads, especially with the direction that you're heading in with these with this sesh with Laura. I love the name too.
Well, and the other thing is that I've also developed. I'm going to be putting together a class, and it's going to be called the Container Method.
Okay.
And the Container Method is really all about the fact that what people do is that they want to make change, right? Everyone, mostly everyone comes to you or to me wanting to make some sort of change, but very often they haven't built the container in which to make the change, because you need some sort of container, just like a seed has a container, right? In order to grow, we also need to develop that container, figure out what that container is for us. So it's our values, our priorities, our loves, our hates. All of those things will really make our container for us. And then not only do we have that container, we also there are pieces of us, right? Like, I like this, I don't like that, I'm really happy, I'm really sad. So we're also going to talk about the different containers within our lives, the things that we bury, the things that we need to open up. When we open them up, what comes out. So that's something else that I'm working on developing as well, and sharing that in the coming months.
Oh, that sounds great, and it's a great word too. The container is a great word, and it sounds like you can do a lot with that. So, do you have plans to maybe you said a course? Is this going to be an online course?
Yes, I'm doing a mini course that I will be offering on my website, and that will be in the next few weeks. I'll have that together, and that's going to be 5 things you can do today to change your marriage. And then after that, I'll be working on the container course, and that's going to be a little bit longer and more details to follow.
Cool. It sounds like you got a whole brand going around this.
I think so.
That's awesome. Yeah,
I think so.
it's a great concept, a great word. I like the way you started to unfold it a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
It sounds like it's
Well,
going to be.
we're all, there's ourself, and then there are pieces of us, right? And we never necessarily we want to think of ourselves only as one thing, but we're not. We're many different things.
Yeah.
And so I want people to get in touch with that and just how we use it, because we use it in many different ways that we may not be aware of.
So let's dig into that a little bit. Let's just get an example of. So although we may think of ourselves as one thing, give us an example of how we are more than one thing. What are these other things you're talking about?
Okay, like an example of that would be like, I'm really angry. Okay, I'm really angry at my mother because whatever, like, she was mean to me when I was growing up. But I'm also this loving, wonderful person. I'm very giving. Okay, those are two pieces of me, right?
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't mean that I'm not who I am, that I'm Laura Roman, but I'm also these different pieces. And we have many more than that, even in a day. I mean, just think about how you interact with people differently, right?
Yeah.
You interact differently with your wife than you do with your business partner. We all, and those are all of our pieces. What happens is a lot of times, and I just had a client I was talking to about this today, she has all these emotions, all these feelings around her husband, but she never lets herself feel them.
Wow.
Like, she's aware of them up here, but she's not really aware of them within. So it's about unpacking some of those emotions for herself and allowing herself to feel that and to explore that, and then to find some resolution around those feelings.
Yeah.
So it's like all those different things that we are.
Yeah, it sounds like the root of EFT and attachment therapy.
Yes. Yes.
Yes.
You're right.
So and that's so exciting. I love that, and so many of our clients and colleagues love that, and it's obviously a movement and a mission that has deep roots and really helps us get to the bottom of a lot of our stuff. So I love that you're doing that, and it is important because we do have a lot of decisions to make every day, and there are so many different sides of us, and yes, you're right. every person that we encounter brings out a different part of us. And
Right.
so,
But I think a lot of times too is that we get too busy or too wrapped up in the things that we're doing that we don't really have an awareness. And so we get depressed or we're anxious and we don't know where that's coming from. And very often where it's coming from are those emotions that are unresolved or
yeah,
we're not really aware of, right?
worry is a big part of it too.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes. Or guilt, another
Worrying
one.
about that, and I was having a conversation yesterday about worry, and what that can lead to. Just kind of this out of control rolling toward the worry and what's going on about that, and just making stuff up in our
Right.
heads,
Exactly.
and making a new story.
Right.
So
Exactly.
so how do you see the evolution of this online and potential foray into more of a coaching style and more of an online persona affecting your traditional business, and does it matter?
I see complementary at this point, and what I would like to do, at my goal is to make everything online in the next 2 to 3 years. I would
Okay.
like to do everything online. I just feel like the connection can be just as good as it is personally. I do,
Yeah.
and I think because we are, or at least I am, more becoming more familiar with online stuff, that it doesn't feel like initially when I started to do it, it felt like there was a barrier. I no longer feel that way.
Good.
So I think it can be just as effective as a therapist if you're doing it online or in your office.
Well, and if you think about the accessibility factor and the ability to make time, a lot of the challenges we have with keeping appointments and or going out to a place to get a service, like going to visit your therapist, that barrier is no longer there because you can jump on Skype or Zoom. Obviously, today we had to jump on
We didn't
Zoom
have that.
because we couldn't do Skype. Bad you Skype people.
Bad Skype.
So we had to get on Zoom. Zoom, yay! Zoom worked, and so just like that, we were able to get together, and yes, I agree. I get some of the best relationship calls and just connections with collaborative partners and people like yourself because we can do this. So it gives us geographic freedom, it gives us time freedom, and what's better than geographic and time freedom, right?
Precisely.
Yes.
And I think too, for couples, it can be really powerful because then we don't have to worry about the kid, put the kids to bed,
Yeah.
go into your bedroom or wherever, your office, we can do a session.
Yeah.
And for individuals, and then too, it's like you can do it, like you said, globally.
Yeah.
You're not limited to a geographic area, which is really very cool for me.
You're going to find that there are pockets that really love the Laura Roman message and this container method brand that you're about to build all over the world. And you're going to find them and say, I had no idea I was going to be this popular in Australia.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah, it's true. I have found that. So, because we don't really, if you think about it locally, it's hard. Sometimes it's hard to find people of like mind and like heart right where you happen to be.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, it's the world we lived in all these years, but now, because we're in a global environment, you will find that people all over the planet seek you out because of your message, your non-stuffy approach, and your, what did we say? Therapy with personality style. So,
well, I'd like to say, it's non-stuffy, but it's pretty direct.
Yeah.
It's a pretty direct approach that I don't really. I love.
You're going to smack people down.
No,
You're
I love to.
smack
No,
down
not like no.
I know that.
But I mean,
Yeah.
I want to support people, but I also want to give them some direction. And I don't think that anyone comes to see me to have me go,
Yeah.
right? Because they could do
Or
that.
look at your watch.
Yeah, right. Or next,
Or
but
the timer.
but they really do want some direction. And I think I do it in a really supportive, loving way, because I do really care about the people that I see and I genuinely want the best for them. And I think people know that.
Cool.
So, yeah.
Well, we're going to be keeping an eye on that, and we're going to be sharing in the show notes. We're going to talk about your website, which is lauraroman.com, right?
Yes.
Which is beautiful, by the way. I checked it out.
It's going to be changing actually in March because there's a lot more stuff I want to add to it.
It's really nice, though. I love it.
Thank you.
And then we also have your Facebook page, which we're going to put in the show notes. Do you want to mention what that is just now so that people that are listening on the podcast and don't get to look at the show notes, what the Facebook page is?
It's what the link.
Yeah, even do you know the after facebook.com/, do you know what that part is?
It's Laura 55 Roman.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, there'll be a link in the show notes, but yeah, that's your business page, right?
Yes.
Yep.
It's
Yep.
Laura Roman Counseling. Yes.
All right. Cool. Yeah, so they can check that out.
Yes.
And I'm assuming right now it's February 16th, but we're going to have this episode up probably in the next week or so.
Okay.
So, do you have any idea when all of this goodness is going to be happening? Do you want to give us a little timeline so when people tune in, they can know, if it's in fact coming down the road or?
Well, the mini course about changing your marriage, the 5 steps to changing your marriage today, that is going to be probably the middle of March. So that's going to be just a little course.
All right. So that's coming soon.
And then the other one, I would say probably sometime in April or beginning of May.
Okay. Cool. Now, do you want people to reach out to you through the website? Is there a way to contact you via the website?
There's a contact page on my website, yes. So
All right,
people
cool.
want to contact me, they can do it that way.
Perfect. All right, so we're gonna send everybody today who is either listening or watching to lauraroman.com.
Yes.
All right, cool. Well, this was so much fun. I'm so looking forward to seeing the evolution, and I'm glad that we got connected. So again, thank you to Sonia for hooking us up.
And thank you to you, Rick.
Oh, you're welcome. I appreciate having you.
I appreciate this. I do appreciate this.
Cool. All right, we'll talk to you soon.
Okay, thanks.
Thank you.
Bye.